Hey, good morning, good day, everybody. My name is Derek Mitchell. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. And so, what am I here nattering on with you about today? Just thought I'd talk to everybody. So, have a few days off work in this cold month of December. It's not overly cold, but it's colder than I like. Bought myself a sweater, not brand new. Wanted to find a wool sweater because at work it's cooler, so I need to find something I could wear that wouldn't break the bank, but would also, and this is it here, so in case you can't see it, it's a nice sweater, has a little zip here. I got a little shirt underneath as well. Basically, it's 80% wool and 20% something else. Anyway, I got it at Value Village because, as you know, if you've seen any of my previous videos, that I'm watching my money. There we go. Watching my money, and I just wanted to reemphasize how important it is to be aware of your financial situation and try to manage it to the best of your ability. For me, over the last 2-year period, I've had a lower income, and I've had to adjust my living values and approaches to make sure that, first of all, the bills get paid. Second of all, I still have some money to be able to enjoy those extracurricular activities, those things like occasionally going out to dinner with a friend and doing social events that don't break the bank, but also allow me to get out of the house and be social with people I care about, friends, family, etc. And of course, you want to be putting aside some money for the future because I think for most of us, we'd like to think there will be one. So what am I on here? Just wanted to talk about a little bit about financial stability and planning for the future. Pay yourself first being one of the first things that I try to do, and in that order, what I try to do with my company, they have a RSP plan where you put in an X amount of dollars and they match up to 50% of it. So I do that. That started as soon as I could with the company I'm with. They have to wait at least a year before you can get into that plan, but it's worth it. I mean, basically, where can you earn 50% on your money? Pretty much nowhere, as far as I know. If you know a place, let me know. I'm open. I'm open to hear about it, as long as it's legitimate. Um, I'm also, I always believe that you want to keep yourself open for opportunities, financial and otherwise, in life. So as much as there's always challenges in whatever you do day to day, there's also um, a time where you need to be available in case an opportunity does arise. And there's things that happen. People come into your life for whatever reason and give you opportunities that you may not have thought about. Plus, you offer opportunities to other people. It's a two-way street, and what you want to do is set yourself up financially to be able to take advantage of those opportunities. One thing I regret is because I'm very financially tight right now, I was given the opportunity to go vacation around Christmas time for a week or so down in Southern California, where I have a good friend who has a home there. I would have loved to take advantage of it. Unfortunately, A, I'm working, and B, I don't have the funds to be able to go on a trip like that. As much as I love that part of the world, part of the United States, I just can't afford it this year. So I had to say no. It bothered me to have to say no, but I did. I did it right away too because there's no hemming and hawing. There was no way I was going to make it happen. I just didn't have the money to be able to do it. Maybe I could have scrimped together enough for the flight, but then I would have had no spending money. And frankly, I had to work anyway, so it just wasn't feasible logistically and financially. If I would have been smarter and put myself in a better financial position, maybe not gotten into financial difficulties when I was working previously, then I may be able to have taken advantage of it. So I consider that a missed opportunity. And I just thought I'd come on here and say, um, try to do your best to set yourself up for success in the future financially. That means putting aside some money every paycheck or every time you receive income So say you do get a bonus, try to put, a small portion of it aside as a savings. And that way, when you get an opportunity such as the one I received, maybe you can take advantage of it. Maybe logistically you're still not able to. Maybe it's a different type of opportunity. Maybe it's an investment opportunity. Maybe it's an ability to purchase a home or a vehicle or something else. If you don't put small amounts aside on a regular basis, you're just not going to get there. So my suggestion is pay yourself first. Try to think positively about the future. Try not to overspend on things you really don't need. I don't know about you, but even today I've got stuff around my home that I truly do not need. So something I do is if I have things here that I know other people can use, of course not use things, but things that I've purchased that are just sitting here that I've never used, I may regift those things because other people will use them and I won't. So think of that. If you have new things that you purchased that you're just not making any use of, then perhaps regift them, because Christmas time is expensive and you don't want to be spending a lot of money on gifts that you can avoid it, but you also want to have a giving heart, I hope, and try to offer something to the people you care about. It's challenging, and you really just need to think about what's important to you. Everybody has different goals. There are more generous people and less generous people. It all depends on your personality, but if you can set yourself up financially so that you're in a positive position when you have an opportunity come, you're going to be a lot better state of mind too, because you're feeling a little bit more secure. You understand that, yeah, well, you can't control everything around you as much as sometimes I like to think I could, but it's just not feasible. That you set yourself up for an atmosphere where things are growing, moving forward, as opposed to being stagnant and sitting still. We all have challenges, whether they be financial, emotional, dietary. Some people are just not able to move because of a physical ailment of some sort. If you focus on the things you can do and try to improve the things that you're struggling with, that is, in my opinion, the best way to move forward in thinking, positive thinking. Sort of get off on a little bit of a rant here, but they do this at work, and all the jobs I've had have talked about your internal dialogue, what you think while you're doing your job, or where you're talking to a customer, or this, that, or the other. When your internal dialogue is negative, you're going to be negative and you're not going to be happy. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're consistently thinking negative thoughts, it's just not going to get you into a better position. So when you find yourself thinking, oh my God, this is terrible, this is the world, my world is ending, this is horrible, when you're getting very dramatic and you're figuring that your life is just falling apart for whatever reason, some people say write down the things you're grateful for. I just say you can write them down, put them on a Word document, think about them. Just focus on those things that you appreciate. We always tend to focus on the negatives, and there's always negatives in life. Nothing's perfect. If you had a perfect life, it'd be pretty boring, to be frank. If we had no challenges, we'd be sitting here doing nothing all the time, just relaxing, enjoying it. I mean, I think in our minds, a beautiful world would be to have enough money to be able to not have to work and to be able to vacation or travel or have a nice vehicle, a nice home, whatever it is you don't have, you dream about. And the fact is, things don't make you happy, you make you happy. So as much as setting yourself up financially in a good atmosphere is a wonderful thing to do, and I'm doing that, I'm trying to improve it. Instead of going out and buying a $30 sweater, I buy a $7 sweater. And the $7 sweater that looks nice and that's functional and does what I need it to do. Or you think about it this way, do you need a sweater? I needed a sweater for work, believe me. The sweaters I have are either cotton or acrylic, not warm enough. So I thought I'd try this. A suggestion from one of my managers suggested maybe a wool sweater. It's hard keeping a big space, the appropriate temperature for all the people who work there. So I understand that. So I have to try to, and I want to be warm when I'm at work. Obviously, you want to be comfortable. And I'm sensitive to cold. So maybe I'm telling you too much information about me, but anyway, I'm coming on here. So let's get back to the financial stuff. So pay yourself first. Even if you have to dip into those savings at some point, at least you have them there to dip into. I had to recently for this December because I had I went visiting with friends and family a couple of times, and it just cost money that I just didn't have to spend. Plus, I've got a couple of other expenses that are coming up. So I had about $100 in savings that I had to dip into just to be able to pay, those expenses and to be able to make it through the month. I don't like living paycheck to paycheck, and thankfully I got the pension, so that's there for later. But for the short term, it is tight every month. I'm not focusing on the fact that it's tight. I think about it sometimes, but I don't focus on it, and I just try to think of opportunities that I can do to make my financial situation a little less tight, a little more something that works for me. So that's my suggestion to you. Is the one thing is pay yourself first. Say I get just as ballpark, and this is not my numbers at all, but say you get $1,000 in a paycheck net. Say you get try to put $100 aside from that, or if you can't do 100, do 50. Again, if you can't do 50, do 20. Put something aside every paycheck. Try to keep it consistent, and then after you start putting $20, assuming you can only do 20. Everybody can do 20, I believe, out of whatever paycheck they get, unless you're so tight, which some people are. But if you're buying coffees at all, then you should be able to put $20 a paycheck aside. If you're buying things you don't need, you should be able to put $20 a paycheck. If you can do 50 or 100, that's even better. Put that aside every paycheck. Just keep it in a cookie jar. Put it in a bank account you don't touch normally, not your regular one. And then just as time goes by, you'll find that increasing. So if you do run into a little bit of a financial thing where you need to pay for something, you have a little bit of a nest egg to do that. Soon enough, you'll find you have enough money for, hey, that vacation that you couldn't take. Anyway, I hope that helps everybody. My email address is niagaraedge@gmail.com. If you do like this video, please click the like button at the bottom of the YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed and you'd like to see more of this face, and I'd love to have you subscribe. So thanks again for your time. My name is Derek Mitchell. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.